Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Maker, and it's a beautiful day to show you how to make this fun paper craft. Ever since I shared my first shaped edge card design, they have been one of our most popular projects. Many of you have requested fancy envelopes to go with them, so today I'll teach you how to prepare, cut, and assemble your own shaped edge envelopes with just cardstock and some craft glue. I have 4 designs for you that fit 4 by 6 inch cards. Plus, I have information on how you can learn to create your own envelopes with custom shaped edges. So be sure to stick around for that. Now, to make these envelopes, you need only 2 sheets of cardstock. I tested both 65-pound smooth cardstock and 80-pound textured cardstock in a variety of colors for the envelopes. Both turned out great, so you can use either. You can use other colors for the liners, but white contrasts so the cutout details really stand out. We'll also have our trusty Barely Art Precision Craft Glue to seal our liners in place. If you've followed any of my other cardstock tutorials, you know how much I love this glue. And no, I'm not paid or sponsored to ever say things like that. I just love this glue. It has just the right amount of tack to keep your cardstock projects together for a long time, even to go through the mail. Plus, the precision tip is so helpful to add glue between the cutouts without mess. So that's it for materials. It's really easy. All that's needed now is a way to cut your envelopes. You can cut these by hand, of course, but I'm going to use a Cricut Maker 3 cutting machine for both ease and precision. I'm also using a scoring stylus to help create folds in my cardstock. And I have my other paper crafting tools to help as well, like my brayer, my weeding tool, and my scraper. For a full list of tools and supplies, plus links to where I got them, head on over to jennifermaker.com/640. That's also where you'll find written instructions with helpful photos and tips. All right, so now let me show you where to get my free envelope files, and then we'll cut and assemble our envelopes. Step 1, get my shaped edge envelope designs. First, download my free envelope designs at jennifermaker.com/640. You can either download right from that link by saving the project, or download from my entire free design collection. To find it, look for Libraries in the red bar at the top, and then click either Get a Password if you don't yet have one, or click Enter the library. Search the page for design number 640 and click the link to download the designs. If you're not sure how to do all of this, visit jennifermaker.com/svgs to learn how to download and unzip files. In the SVG folder, you'll find score and no score versions of all 4 designs to fit 4 by 6 inch cards. There is a flower design, a hearts design, a peacock design, and a rose design. The score versions use a scoring tool to make the crease lines, and the no score versions used dash cut lines instead. There's also a DXF folder with cut files and a PDF folder with versions that you can print and cut by hand. I'm going to demonstrate with the score version of the flower design because it creates a slightly smoother result than the dashed cut lines. You can use these steps to make any of the envelopes. Step 2, prepare and cut your envelope design. In Cricut Design Space, open a blank canvas. Click Upload and then Upload Image. Click Browse and select the SVG file of your choice. I'll pick the score version with the flower envelope design. Click Continue and then click Upload to add the design to your canvas. Now is a good time to save your project, so click Save and give your project a name. Then click on the Ungroup icon to separate the design's layers. I recommend always ungrouping files because they usually come in grouped by default. If you're using the score version like I am, there are 3 layers on your canvas, but you might need to click the arrow in the Layers panel to see the grouped ones. There's the shaped edge envelope and a rectangle without color still grouped with it. You'll also have the shaped liner for the envelope's flap. Click on the layer with the rectangle to select it. It will look like a rectangle outline in the middle of the envelope. The color box next to Operation will show it as a red color, which is how I indicate lines that are intended to be scored. So let's change this rectangle into score lines. To make your score lines, click Operation and then select the Score option from the drop-down menu, so your machine knows to score it instead of cut it. On the canvas, the lines will turn from solid to dashed, which you can see when you click outside the layer. We'll fold along these lines later when we're putting our envelope all together. If you want to change the color of your envelope to match the cardstock you're using, select the large solid shape in the Layers panel. Then click the color box to select a different color in the menu. I'll keep mine yellow, but you can change yours now since it's easier to change a layer's color before attaching it to another layer. On the canvas, I want you to drag a bounding box around the envelope and the score lines to select both layers. Then click Attach below the Layers panel so your machine will score and cut these selections together. This is very important. Don't neglect to do this, otherwise your score line will not be attached to the layer it needs to score. If you want to change the color of the envelope's flap liner, select it and use the color box to do so, but I'm just going to keep mine white. And now our project is ready to cut. So make sure the correct machine is selected in the top right and then click Make. On the Prepare screen, make sure the correct material size is selected for your materials. Since I'm using 12-inch cardstock, I'll choose the 12 by 12 inch setting, then check both mats. Then select the first mat again and click Continue so it will load first on the next screen. On the Make screen, set the base material for your first mat. Mine has the liner shape, which I'll cut from white cardstock. I'll use the medium cardstock 80-pound material setting because it cuts the 65-pound cardstock really well. And I'll change the pressure to more for a cleaner cut. Place your first color of cardstock face up on a green standard grip machine mat. And use a brayer to make sure it's fully adhered. Check that your premium fine point blade is clean and in the clamp. And press the flashing load button to load your prepared mat into your Cricut cutting machine. And then press the flashing go button to begin cutting. When it's finished cutting, don't unload your mat right away. Instead, I want you to gently lift a corner of the cardstock to make sure the cuts went all the way through. If they didn't go all the way through, press that middle button again to make a second pass of cuts in the same spots. When the cuts are complete, unload your mat, flip your mat over onto your work surface, and roll the mat back to release the cardstock. And if you have any issues with your cuts, go to jennifermaker.com/cleaner-cuts for my best tips and tricks. When you get to your mat with your envelope, make sure the settings match your material. You could use either 65-pound or 80-pound cardstock for the envelopes, but I recommend using the medium cardstock setting with more pressure for either weight. Load the next color of cardstock on your mat and then follow the same steps I just showed you to cut it. If you're using the score version like I am, follow the screen prompts to select and add your scoring tool. Since I'm using the scoring stylus with my maker, I'll click Edit Tools to open the Tool Options menu. Then I'll click Scoring Stylus and Apply to select it. You can also use the scoring wheel if you have a maker, but I like the stylus because I can load it without having to switch out my blade when it's time to cut. If you're using the Dash Cut Line version, you won't see the scoring tool prompts since all of your lines are cuts and no extra scoring tool is even needed. When the cuts are complete and you've unloaded the mat, use your spatula to help lift delicate parts and avoid ripping them. And if any cutouts stick to the envelope, use your weeding tool to gently poke them out. Use a scraper tool to remove the small bits left on your mat after you remove the cut pieces. They can make your mat less sticky if you leave them there. Step 3. Assemble your shaped edge envelope. To make your envelope, start with it flat, face down on your work surface. Refer to your canvas in Cricut Design Space if you're not sure. Align a ruler on a crease line and fold upward along it. You can also slide a spatula under the cardstock to gently lift fragile areas, like the shaped flap. With the envelope still face down and the shaped flap in the top position, fold the two side tabs all the way in. Then run a scraper tool along the tabs to help sharpen the edges for nice, clean folds. Now fold the bottom panel up to see how much it covers the side tabs, so you know where to glue. Mine covers about 3/4 of the side. Unfold the bottom flap and apply thin lines of craft glue to the side tabs where the bottom will overlap. Don't get glued too close to the edges. If you add too much, use a paper towel to wipe some away so the layers won't stick together inside. Fold the bottom panel up and press the sides down onto the tabs to adhere it. Before the glue dries, gently run your finger or a weeding tool inside the envelope to unstick the layers just in case any glue escaped the tabs. Next, place the liner on the flap to orient it. If the edges don't match, try flipping the liner. Set it down facing the right way. Now, working quickly but carefully, apply thin lines of craft glue to the envelope's flap along the pattern's outside edge. Then add small dots of glue to the inner areas, avoiding the cutouts. Hold the liner's straight edge just above the crease on the envelope and lower it in place. Leave the crease clear so it will fold. There should be a thin border on the envelope, but the cutouts will match perfectly. Smooth over the glued areas to adhere the layers. Wipe away any excess glue, then let the envelope dry completely. Your shaped edge envelope is ready. Step 4, show it off. You now have a cute envelope with a shaped edge. It's the perfect size for the 4 by 6 inch versions of my nature-themed shaped cards. Slip one inside, then use a small Zot glue dot to seal the flap. Address it, and your handmade card is ready to mail. Step 5, customize it. If you love this shaped edge envelope but want to make a different flap design, I can show you how. You can get my special Shaped Edge Envelope Toolkit and learn how to customize your own version through a special program called Advance with Jennifer Maker over at jennifermaker.com/advance. The toolkit also has elements and instructions to make envelopes for 5 by 7 inch cards too. The Advance program helps to advance your crafting skills by teaching you how to make these popular designs unique and special through tutorials and templates, as well as give you advanced access to my vast library of designs, projects, and resources. Plus, really fun monthly challenges just for members. Now, I may or may not be accepting new members into the Advance program at the time you see this, but if you're interested, go to jennifermaker.com/advance to learn more and see how it all works. And now you can create lots of different envelopes to send any kind of mail that fits a 4 by 6 inch envelope. These will make your mail carrier's day for sure. And if you're interested in creating the shaped edges yourself, don't forget to check out the Advanced program. I have lots of other cardstock tutorials in there too. If you're a crafter at heart but in need of a Cricut crafting machine to make your crafting dreams come true, I do a regular giveaway over on my blog at jennifermaker.com/Cricut giveaway. Get all the details and enter for your chance to win. If you have any questions about Cricut projects or craft projects that you think I can help you with, just let me know. Leave your question below this video or ask over in our awesome Cricut Crafters group at jennifermaker.com/Cricut Crafters. And I would love it if you would share a photo of your envelope with us over in our group. I can't wait to see what you create. And that's it for today. Until next time, this is Jennifer Maker reminding you to craft a life you love.